Welcome back to another day of Spookmas! Maybe the spirits will come in now. Ooh. So if you've clicked on this video, also do you like my tree, my 1970s something tree that I got in the background? Dug it out just for this video. So if you clicked on this video, today we're going to be doing a pick a card video. I want you to think of a number 1 through 5, and then you're going to click on the timestamp to that, and then whatever message that I tell you hopefully will match up. And I already rang my little bell a few times to have my spirits and guides come in to help me do this for you. And hopefully this works because this is the first time I've ever done this. So with all that said, I hope your question gets answered and let's have some fun. Okay, number 1, if you picked number 1, this is your card. The deck I am using today is Urban Crow Oracle. The card is the Influence card, and what it means, like impressionable teenagers, crows pick up on our habits, even the bad ones. Crows have been known to get drunk as well as smoke. Are you letting someone influence your behavior? Is there a loss of control when influence is at play? A more dominant personality may make you feel inclined to engage in a risky behavior you would otherwise avoid. On the flip side, you may find someone strong and healthy to be inspirational, and because of their influence, you too feel motivated to make positive changes. Influence brings your awareness, the decisions that you may not have made it if it weren't for an outside force leading the way. Like a Pied Piper leading the way with intoxicating music, you may be caught in another's spell. A situation, whether it be current, from the past, or in the near future, may be the result of someone's charm or talent at swaying people. When influence appears, consider taking a moment to examine if you have been swayed into making a decision you might not have made if the situation were different. For example, a salesperson may influence your decision to buy something you can't afford if they know the right way to manipulate you. So, with this card, is somebody influencing you to do something that you do not want to do? Is somebody influencing you to take the wrong path? Maybe your guides or whoever is reaching out to you is wanting you to look at the whole situation. Don't be so impressionable and make a rational choice, whatever you're doing. And obviously, be careful of those who are currently around you if they are influencing you to do things that you really don't want to do. Hi, number 2, if you pick this number, this is what your card is. And just for reference, I am using the Urban Crow Oracle deck. So this is what your card is. Your card is the Illusion card, and this is what this card represents. Have you ever been absolutely positively 100% about a certain situation only to find that the complete opposite is true? During a reading, illusion may surface to help you uncover if you are clinging to a narrative that suits your feelings about a situation rather than the facts. For example, the person who spends their day angry at an email was not answered. They assumed the recipient read it and ignored it. All that energy being upset and angry could have been avoided if they had just realized that they themselves forgot to hit send. Illusion might appear if we are operating on false assumptions or if we are in denial and do not want to accept the reality of a situation. When we double down or commit to the story we created in our minds, our actions and behaviors are then a byproduct of what we want or assume to be true. If our assumptions are wrong, our actions and behaviors may have negative consequences. Does your interpretation match reality, or are you acting on an illusion? So this card definitely represents, are you making things up in your head? Is it an illusion? Do you need more clear thought and perception on whatever the situation is? Maybe you're overreacting in whatever the situation is. Doesn't necessarily need to be that over dramatic reaction, because maybe at the end of the day it's just something so minute and small, or there's a miscommunication on the other side that you don't need to get that upset about. If I were you, number 2, I would definitely take a step back from the situation, maybe collect your thoughts, and maybe even reach out to the person or the situation at hand and try to get more information just to make the message clear. If you clicked on number 3, this is your card. And just for reference, I am using the Urban Crow Oracle. Your card is communication. And this is what this card means. When I lived in my 3rd floor apartment, one of my neighborhood crows would often come calling on my balcony in the morning. There was this one crow in particular that stood out that my daughter and I eventually named Brave One, because he or she would go right up to our sliding glass door and rap-a-tap-tap impatiently with its beak. This delightfully persistent bird was looking for a handout. Communication brings the message to speak up, state what you want. You may think those around you know your needs and desires, but that may not be the case. Now is the time to articulate your wishes. Communication asks that you get clear on what you want so that there are no misunderstandings or confusion later. Although communication may point to a situation on an earthy level, it may also indicate that you need to be clearer with what you want when communicating with your spirit guides or higher self. Are you being too vague? Are you asking for you want exactly? So this card obviously represents communication on both our reality and the higher spiritual reality. What are you asking? Is there something that you need to communicate in your daily life? Maybe to another person, maybe a situation. Maybe the question that you are asking for this card has to do with spirituality. And if it is, know that your guides are with you right now and they are helping you move through this situation and that they are showing you signs that they are there. So if I were you, number 3, I would look at the situation at hand and make sure that you speak up and use your voice and communicate, because obviously there is something that you need to communicate on, and your guides or your higher self or spirits are 100% have your back and they want you to communicate too. Okay, number 4, if you chose number 4, this is your oracle card. For reference, I am using the Elemental Oracle. So here is your card. Your card is the Air card, and this is what it means. Motion. Be flexible yet grounded. Allow yourself free thought, move and choose. Find your freedom. Use your voice resourcefully. Stand up for what you believe in. Be mindful of the way you communicate. The element of air has always been associated with movement and with the higher spirit. It is a cleansing element that enables us to fly free and allow our minds to travel. Air is associated with all breath, breathing, the lungs, the voice, music, winds, and storms. It is the element of communication. At its most destructive, air is disconnected, chaotic, undisciplined, and untethered. While we consider a storm after a long drought to be cleansing and nourishing, an intensive storm such as a hurricane can be wildly destructive. The word ahead normally refers to someone who doesn't consider things much and who just flits around from one thing to another willy-nilly. Finding your own space and healthy motion is important, and finding your own breath of fresh air will enable you to see things differently and start anew. So what this card is saying is you need to communicate. You need to stand up for whatever you believe in. Girl, you gotta communicate it. You gotta stand up for what you believe in. But you also have to be mindful how you communicate. Because if you go into this situation and you are just barging in and you're being forceful, your outcome is not going to be very pleasant. So make sure you understand how to communicate your message to the person or the situation very clearly, because you need to learn how to communicate in a better way. So if I was you, number 4, what I would do is to find your voice, figure out how you need to communicate your thoughts and feelings and opinions, but make sure you're mindful, because you don't want to go into the situation, spew out a bunch of stuff that you can't take back. The key thing here is figuring out how to communicate this in a positive way. All right, number 5. If you chose number 5, this is your card. And just for reference, I am currently using the Elemental Oracle deck. So your card is the Cave card, and this is what it means. Protection. You are loved and protected in your endeavors. Know yourself. Taking silent time is good for your mental health. Recreating after periods of extreme hard work is a positive. Be embraced by nature. Caves can be considered to be the first human shelter and temples. These natural spaces in the ground or by the sea, and including rock walls or rocks, provide shelter and temperature control in extreme environments. For example, fire for warmth and cooking would be safe from wind and precipitation. Caves are normally formed by erosion. most commonly of limestone by water or wind. Caves are the natural habitat for specific bacteria, plant species, and animals such as bats and salamanders. They became a natural haven for art and communication with the gods and ancestors. The oldest cave art found at the time of writing in South America at the Pinnacle Point, it is estimated to be about 170,000 years old. Sacred caves used for rituals such as those in India and China often contain sacred paintings and statues and were further hollowed out to expand them. The fact that many caves have incredible sound qualities such as magnification of sound or echoing allows for more otherworldly aspects to come to the fore. Caves were also seen by some cultures as portals to the other or underworlds where they utilized burial sites. This is what this card is saying. This card is letting you know that you are loved and protected in all of your endeavors, and that taking time for yourself is possibly what you need right now. Maybe you've been working crazy hours or working just a lot on certain projects and you're starting to get burnt out. This card is telling you that you need to take a day, relax, go to your home, maybe make a good meal, maybe hang out, just do something that you enjoy that's relaxing, because you need it. Retreating into your cave, aka your home, know that your guides are with you and they need you to take a breather, because maybe you've been working so much and everything is so hectic that you just need this. So if I were you, number 5, I would definitely take a break. Know that your hard work and dedication to your job or the projects that you have going on are being overlooked and handled, and you're being supported by your guides, but they need you to relax before you get way too burnt out, and they just need you to go to your cave, maybe read a book, relax, do whatever you need, maybe take a vacation, but they really want you to focus on not burning yourself out.